We've been having a lot of fun with these Gel Blaster Surge, and in a previous video I did a full teardown of this blaster to show you what was inside and how it worked. So there I was surprised later when I saw that there's a knockoff of the Gel Blaster Surge. When I say knockoff, I know that there's a lot of gel blasters that use similar internal parts, but what I'm talking about is this is an almost exact copy replica of the exterior appearance. And I'm pretty sure that the Gel Blaster brand designed this blaster from scratch, because I looked at their Kickstarter videos and stuff, and they showed, like, you know, designing it and how they came up with this blaster to look more like a toy and like a space blaster and less like a weapon, so it would be better for kids and family play. And so they focus a lot on not making it look like a gun, although if you go and just kind of remove this part down here, it looks very much like a pistol. So with the exception of these kind of striker style elements on the front. This container at the top also indicates that this is not a normal firearm, but you know, if they had made this look less aggressive too and more just like a ball or some of that, might have been even better. It looks like they're striking a balance between looking like a gun and looking like a toy. So it's not, to me, it's not totally Nerf, but it's also not a simulation of a firearm. So let's take a look at this imitation fake gel blaster, and I'm going to be doing a teardown of it too, and to do a direct comparison between the fake one and the trademarked Gel Blaster brand blaster. Blaster. First, let's take a look at the box and see. It actually should say like where it's made or what company makes it somewhere on the box. It seems to have the same specifications: 800 gillette ammo capacity, rate of fire 8 to 10 gillettes per second, shoots over 100 feet, it says 150 feet per second, and 4 hours of play. I don't see a manufacturer anywhere on this box. I was hoping to see like made by a specific manufacturer. Let's take a look at what's inside of it. It actually came with a lot of gels, which is cool. Each one of these packages is 10,000. So it came with 30,000 right there. Then it came with these extra little packages of 500. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2,500. So it came with 32,500 rounds of ammo, which is a lot more than what the Gel Blaster Surge comes with. One of the things that's nice about this blaster is that it has a removable, replaceable battery. Here's the battery that's included. It claims 1400 milliamp hour at 7.4 volts. That is not possible for this size battery. I mean, the Gel Blaster Surge battery was 500 or 750 milliamp hours or something like that at 7.4 volts. And no way is this going to be greater than that. So that's straight up a lie right there, because this battery is even smaller than the Gel Blaster battery. It comes with a simple USB charger. And obviously what's nice about a replaceable battery is that you can get more of these batteries and then just swap them out without stopping gameplay. So you don't have to charge a whole blaster like this one. The Gel Blaster Surge, by comparison, has this USB-C charging port, and so if the battery dies on it, you have to recharge the whole blaster, so you can't keep using the blaster. And if the battery dies completely, like it stops working after, you know, 300 to 500 charges or so, you'll have to get in there and open it up and replace the battery, versus this one you would just swap it out with a new battery. These glasses are, you know, I probably wouldn't even use these glasses. They include them, I guess, I don't know why, because they have to, but I heard everyone just tosses these glasses. I wouldn't trust them. It does come with some accessory fins, just like the Gel Blaster Surge did, so you can swap out between the orange and the blue. It only comes with one hopper and one attachment here, unlike the Gel Blaster Surge, which came with 2 hoppers and 2 attachments there. So if the attachment broke, you could swap that out. If your hopper broke, you could swap it out, but you could also have an extra hopper so you could have more ammo. So that was a nice thing to include with the other one. So basically you have an extra magazine with the original Gel Blaster. As far as the hopper shape and style, it looks pretty similar, but this fake one is a little bit longer, a little bit bigger. It will be interesting to see how strong they are relative to each other. So it's not the same manufacturer of the hopper. It's a different manufacturer. It just looks the same. And let's see if this hopper screws onto the Gel Blaster Surge also, and vice versa. The threads look the same size. The opening looks the same size. The threads look a little bit different. Let's see how it fits. Oh yeah, that fits on there no problem. So you can use a fake hopper with the real Gel Blaster. Let's see if you can use the real hopper with the fake Gel Blaster. Yep, that works too. So they're cross-compatible. I think I'm going to call this one the Scourge. So you've got the Surge and the Scourge. So one thing about the Scourge is that I noticed there was like oil around here, and there's a little bit of oil down in here too that it's gotten on my hands. I'm wondering what kind of oil that is. Scary oil. They definitely put a lot of oil or grease, something inside, lubricant inside the barrel, versus this real Surge did not come with that. If we look inside here, like the Scourge did not come with that beginner tip, although if you look inside, it's got the same features in there that the beginner tip would lock into. It seems like they kind of had the intent to add a beginner tip, or they just, you know, duplicated it so closely that they didn't care to remove those features. You can tell the barrel on the Surge is a little bit better centered, and the Scourge looks like it goes off to the left a little bit. It's not really well centered. Before I disassemble the Scourge, I'm going to give it a try to see what FPS it is. So the battery housing is down here, and it's pretty small. They could have made it a little bit bigger, given more space in here in this area. So you have to kind of cram down the battery into there. And maybe I'll get better at it, but it's a bit of a, it feels like a bit of a tight fit. The switch is in the same position on the back. So on the right, we have the real Gel Blaster. Switch is in the same position. One thing I wanted to show is this is not a direct mold copy of the original Gel Blaster Surge. So the Scourge has, they made their own mold as a replica of the Surge. And you can see that the features here, like these features are square, versus on the Surge, they're rounded. So they look more like tubes. Here they look more like lines, squared off. It has the same appearance on the back of the grip. Has the same button placement there. Size-wise, it looks to be identical. The screws are on the opposite side of the mold. It's missing the accessory rail on the bottom. So that's a nice thing about the Surge, is you could add an accessory rail like a flashlight or something on the bottom there for night play. And this one's missing that. So you'd have to 3D print something to get that to go on there. The gray part on the handle on the Surge is a lot larger. The grip feels like about the same size on both. And the trigger has speed holes drilled into it. So one thing that's funny is they made, on the Surge, you have the lines going forward. On the Scourge, they have the lines going back like that. So, and these lines are a little bit different here. And these are hexes here on the Scourge and circles on the Surge. I'm curious if these will fit on either one. Here you can see some evidence of that oil. You see the shiny places? That's that oil. These hopper receivers look pretty similar, but they probably won't work well with each other because the kind of snaps are at different places there. So let's take a look. It snaps in the same spot. And it fits on there and it lines up, but doesn't really snap in. And vice versa, this one doesn't go all the way in. This one's stopped. I think that snap feature is too big here on the Scourge. So this one doesn't pass all the way in. So the hopper adapters aren't quite cross-compatible. Let's turn it on and see. One thing that's cool is it lights up. So they're actually using those wires that I found in the Surge that weren't leading to nowhere. They're using them for some LEDs. Now I'm going to do a quick test with the Scourge and the Surge to see what the FPS is on them, the real world FPS, using this chronograph. All right, so we got the chrono set up. We got our surge, gel blaster, and the scourge. And we're gonna be shooting through the chrono and trying to see how they compare. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the gel blaster surge, do some shots of that as a baseline. I wanna note that both of these have fully charged batteries, the same ammo. This is the ammo that came with the gel blaster surge. So it's a known decent ammo, and that's what I'll be using here. Now we're going to use the Scourge and see what the FPS and fire rate is on this one. Now I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison where I'm going to hold these perfectly level, side-by-side, the same. You'll see the difference between the shots. So I'm going to hold the Scourge on the left, and I'm going to hold the Gel Blaster Surge on the right. This is the Scourge, and then the Surge. You see how the Scourge sometimes has more trouble firing too. There we go. Scourge, Surge. Scourge, surge, scourge, surge. So you see how the surge consistently shoots further than the scourge. And the scourge kind of misfires a lot too.